All right, so before we set off, let's go ahead and take one last look at the exterior. I really like the Trailhunter in terms of the color combination. We have a nice metallic black exterior color. We also find the amber DRLs right over here. So instead of it being white, it is finished amber. We got the projector lights, rigid fog lights that can be changed from white or yellow. And then we have the full LED light bar, Toyota Heritage grip. We got the 18-inch wheels with the 33-inch tires wrapped around. Old man EMU 2.5-inch lift in the front, 1.5-inch lift in the back. ARB roof rack over here. Nice steel finish for that. And at the rear, I mean, it looks really good. This is a very, very nice model. And we even have the high mounted snorkel. Like I mentioned in the video, this doesn't work the exact same way as a regular snorkel. You can't bring water up to here. So that means that, you know, you can't add or go off-roading into large depths of water. This is just more for performance or for sound, which we'll be hearing that in the video now. So closing up the door, solid sounding. All right, let's go ahead and take it out for a drive. Now this model right here, like I said, is using the 2.4 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder with the electric motor to have a combined horsepower of 323 horsepower and 465 pound-feet of torque. Now you're wondering, why is it less than the TRD Pro that makes 325 horsepower? Well, the reason why is because, or 326 if I'm not mistaken, is because of that snorkel. Apparently that snorkel actually intrudes with performance, so that's why this model has less horsepower. But I mean, are you going to really notice it when it comes to driving this vehicle? Probably not. All right, so setting off over here, giving it some gas. You can actually hear that snorkel area. Tons of power delivery from that 2.4 liter turbocharged with the electric motor. I really like this power unit. I've liked it since, you know, it first came out. Whenever I tested it in the Tacoma TRD, not TRD, but the TRD off-road, if I'm not mistaken, that one felt really good. And now that's over here, I really like that way that power just delivered right there. It felt super good, confident, better than what a Bronco with its based 4-cylinder engine would feel, because that's a little bit sluggish. It also has a 10-speed automatic transmission, which isn't technically the best, but you know, this is a really good power plant. I really like the way that this engine feels in here. Also, these seats just, my God, they feel really comfortable. I feel like I can go on a long road trip with these seats and they will, you know, help me with my back problems. I do have back problems, and even the lumbar can support or heated seats. But as you see right there, the engine was shut off whenever we were at that stop sign, because it does end up shutting off. Going around here. Steering feels really good. You have no idea how good that snorkel sounds over there on that side. That is crazy for an off-roading vehicle like this. And the reason why I say that is because typically, like, off-roading vehicles aren't like the highest performance vehicles. They're more of like low performance V6 and stuff like that. But this feels very, very unique, and I really like the way that sounds. I'm gonna go ahead and floor it over here. I'm actually gonna put it into sport mode. It goes like, you know, the inner kid is coming out when you hear something like that. If many of you know, playing Need for Speed Underground back in the day, Underground 1 and Underground 2, you totally get what I mean. But this car feels great. I mean, even in sport mode, the transmission feels a little bit different. It does have a little bit of a different calibration for that, but you know, honestly, this does not feel that bad at all. It feels really good. And even going around this corner over here, yes, this is a little bit of a top heavy SUV, but it still feels good. Oh my God. I wish you guys can just experience this. I might actually put a clip in here right now of me having the mic right next to that section. So now when it comes to the brakes, they actually feel really good. You know, you don't have to press too far in order for them to bite. Now, mind you, these are not performance brakes, none of that by any means, but they still feel good whenever you do press your foot on the brake. They have a nice bite to them. Oh man, you know, a lot of people have complained about the new 4Runner and the fact that it went from a V6 to, you know, a turbocharged 4-cylinder. But I think that the thing that people forget was that the first generation 4Runner actually had a turbocharged 4-cylinder as its base engine. And nobody ever thinks about that. Nobody thinks about the fact that the original 4Runner had that. The thing is that since the last generation, the 5th generation 4Runner had been on sale for, I think it was 15 years if I'm not mistaken. Since it was on sale for like 15 years, everybody's mindset was stuck on the 5th gen 4Runner, even though there's been numerous generations before then. The thing is that that's what everybody thought about. Everybody thought about, oh, the V6 is going away with the 5-speed. And even though that engine is pretty good, you know, it's very reliable, so is, you know, the 5-speed automatic transmission. This is going to be better for fuel economy. It's also going to be better when it comes to driving in areas like mountain areas because of the turbocharged engine. Naturally aspirated engines are worst when it comes to you taking it up into the mountains. So this 4-cylinder with the electric motor is actually going to do way, way better. Yeah, man, this cabin space feels phenomenal. I am noticing a little bit of a noise coming from here. I think that is a normal thing. The Tacoma had it when I did the review on it, and this also has it. So just keep that in mind. You know, there is going to be a little bit of like road noise, or wind noise, I should say, but that's normal. A lot of cars within this competition space typically has a lot of sound coming in from the exterior. And even with these large wheels, since they are 33-inch wheels, we're gonna have a little bit of intrusion from those tires whenever you're on the roadway. For example, 70 miles per hour or 75 miles per hour, you're really gonna hear those tires coming into the cabin space. Now, when it comes to the visibility outside the front windows, but also the side, I will say it's actually a lot better than what you'd find in the Bronco as well as the Wrangler. The Wrangler is a little too small of a windshield. The Bronco kind of enlarges it a little bit, but it's still small. This is more appropriate. It's more swept back in its overall design presence. And I think that adds for a better visibility out of the vehicle. And that honestly is largely important when it comes to taking a vehicle like this off-roading, because you want to be able to see what's around you. And even then, we still have those nice like side bulges for the hood area compared to that of the TRD Pro, where the TRD Pro has this fake mounted scoop in the front, which I'm not a huge fan of. I actually like this cleaner look, so you can easily see forward rather than having to look over a hump that's in the middle. I think that this just looks a lot better. Man, it never gets old. I think that is like not annoying at all. I love that sound, and the fact that you could just hear it when you have the window closed is just, it's awesome, man. Honestly, Toyota, hats off to you and the engineering team for making a snorkel that just sounds so good with the turbo flutter. It's perfection. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I want to give a huge shout out to South Dade Toyota for allowing me to film this vehicle. If you guys are interested in purchasing this vehicle or any other Toyota vehicles, make sure to go ahead and contact Leo. He'll be able to assist you. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure to go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.